insult generator today.
What's up, everyone? This is
Everything's
Jason
coming off
Tucker. This is WPwatercooler, episode number 157. Today's topic is managing ads on your WordPress website. Let's go around the room real quick, get everyone introduced. We're going to go in alphabetical order with Brandon Dove. Brandon, tell us all about yourself.
How's it going? I work here at PixelJar, and I'm the lead developer AdSanity plugin for WordPress.
Awesome. Drake, what about you? Tell us about yourself.
I'm Drake Berry. I'm the lead engineer at Oso Studio, a WordPress engineering and support company in Austin, Texas.
Awesome.
Sweet. Russ, Mr. Einstein himself, tell us all
Mr.
about
Einstein
yourself.
himself. I'm here
Whatever
in the
Einstein.
flesh. Yeah. My name is Russ Aaron. I am a lead organizer of WordCamp Vegas, and I will be speaking November 7th at WordCamp Sacramento with Miss Suzette Frank.
Woohoo!
Not together though. We're separate.
Wow, you almost killed Suzette right there. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, what about me? Do you need to know, really? My name is Say Reed. I make WordPress, do WordPress, love WordPress, preach WordPress, at Say Reed Media on all the things. And if you are in SoCal, come to my reopening of my bookstore October 23rd. Bye.
Links are in the show notes. Suzette, what about you? Tell us about yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Suzette Frank. I am a teacher with Girl Development, and I'm going to be speaking in Sacramento WordCamp. Sorry.
That's all right, Suzette. Steve, what about you?
I am Steve Zengin. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I lead the OC WordPress meetup. Is there a developer meetup tonight, Brandon?
There is a developer meetup.
There is a
tonight.
developer
Thank you for
meetup.
promoting that, Steve.
Awesome. I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me Jason Tucker on Twitter, and I blog over at WPmedia.pro and jasontucker.us.
Don't forget JTUG XYZ.
Yep. Gay talk.
All right, guys. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is it's kind of near and dear to my heart. It's a topic where I make money by people clicking on things, and that's how that works. So
That's a good name for a book, by the way.
It is. It is. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I've had a few people ask me questions about doing ad management and also ad placement management too. So we have a kind of a sister show for this, which is called WP Blab that we do. And during that time, we were talking about how to do ad management, and so I talked about a couple different solutions, and we'll talk about those here today as well. But we want to bring Brandon on because Brandon makes this stuff, and Brandon's a good friend of all of ours, and we wanted to talk a little bit about his product. So Brandon, tell us, like, where did you start with all of this? Like, where did you guys come up with this idea of managing ads and bringing the sanity back in doing so?
Well,
I was a young boy.
It goes way back. No. We had a client who was managing a ton of ads, probably more than you should have on your website. But they were struggling with a different plugin that they were using that provided a ton of features. And because of all those different ways you could put ads and place ads and sort ads and weight ads and all the things, the queries that were running in WordPress were really expensive. They took a long time. And so when you're running... Yeah, they cost a lot. So you don't really make as much off ads? No.
Okay.
So it really slowed down their site, I mean, really to a crawl. So when you're running more than 20 ads on a page at a time because, you know, they're local just images, people that you've worked with directly, not like a Google AdSense or something like that, just to pull those out of the database took a really long time, and it made it so that their site wasn't able to make the money that they wanted because the site was too slow for people to wait for it. So we took a different approach of, instead of offering every feature that you could possibly want for ads, we built up a platform that could be extended to do specific things. But really it worked off of WordPress's custom post types, so that it was really fast. It was built in with all the core functionality that you expect from a custom post type and custom taxonomies, things like that. And it just ran fast.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Have any of you guys used AdSanity yet?
Yes.
And that's why Say was like, "Ooh, I really want to talk about this."
I don't want to talk about it. I want to listen to it. I don't.
It doesn't talk.
Wait. We're on episode 157. It took 157 shows. Mark, Jason, mark this show. This is the one where Say is listening.
Except I do have something to say.
You know what? This is a tweetable moment. You know.
My point. I created a site. It's like a media site where it was all manual ads through custom post types. Created all that stuff, and that was before AdSanity existed. And anyway, I'm re-implementing it. I'm going to rework it and implement AdSanity. So just say all the things.
What does it do?
The basics, right? So you're able to use widgets, template tags, or shortcodes to place ads anywhere in your theme, whether it's a widget area or in the actual code of your site, or in content areas, anywhere where basically you can use those things. You're able to implement AdSanity to rotate either local ads, which are just images, things like that, or flash ads, as well as network ads. So if you've got Google ads,
Say flash ads.
you'd be surprised, coming from a support side, how many people want to rotate flash ads.
Wait, by flash ads, do you mean like topless ads or like actual?
I was gonna say, is this like a Girls Gone Wild kind of thing?
I think it means Adobe Flash. I think it's talking about technology.
So Brandon, does that mean that you send over a lot of your clients that want to use flash ads over to Steve?
Don't.
Well, since Steve actually created Flash, I think he was around at the beginning.
According to Wikipedia, Flash was created by Steve.
We'll see that by the end of this show. I just want to point that out.
Okay, so wait, Brandon, you said something I want to clarify. Does my theme have to be compatible with AdSanity to use those ad slots, or is it any theme?
So most any theme will work. Can
I use Kubrick?
Most themes are developed in such a way that they don't limit. The biggest problem I'll just tell you, the biggest problem that we've had so far is themes from less reputable sources.
Mm-hmm.
Having custom post type, like basically featured images only specified for posts or only specified for pages or something like that. So when AdSanity uses the custom, the featured image functionality, it's turned off for any other custom post type. So there are some themes that do have this issue, but it's really solvable within 5 minutes.
Brandon, I feel like you guys created the genesis of ads. Because like with Genesis, there's all these hooks where you can, before the content, in the middle of the content, or after the content, and the way that you described it, you can put an ad in the middle of your content in the post, and I feel like you guys created an ad thing using Genesis. I really like the plugin. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, I think we looked at it obviously from a developer's perspective, because when we were implementing it for our specific client, we wanted to make sure that we could modify it later on if they were going to have any sort of custom ad units or anything like that. We would be able to do that. So one of the features we have as an add-on is the ability to have custom ad sizes. We don't know all the ad sizes that you're going to put in or how you're going to implement those. So that's something.
And why not? Oh, and why not? Why don't you know all that?
There's some people that I just can't. I can't.
Hey, for the right price, you can do a full background cover image for the right price. I don't care what size it is.
Yeah.
Well, you guys also do responsive ads, which is something that Google's been doing for a little while now, of being able to just say, give me a placement, and then I'll just figure out what size this is going to be.
I think that's really tricky, right? So I think that side of the ad ecosystem is still changing, because we do hear a lot of people who are like, I don't understand how responsive ads need to work, but I want responsive ads. Like, they just know it's a thing.
Yeah.
And so in our situation, we've implemented a couple of custom things that will do responsive type ads, mobile ads, pretty much anything that we can think of, we've been able to implement with it. Like I said, it doesn't come with a lot of stuff out of the box, but given a developer's look at it, you could pretty much have it do anything.
Very cool.
Let's talk tech for a second with responsive ads. So if I have 2 ads on the page, one for desktop and one for mobile, one's just going to kind of hide for the responsive state. Are they both still loading? Are they both still counting as an ad impression?
Not the way we've done it. In a lot of the responsive things that we've done, we're using Ajax to load in ads. That was unfortunate. But,
Fair enough. Go ahead.
Yeah. So.
Thank you. Just keep going. It's cool.
It's okay. Take two. Don't worry about it. This isn't being recorded or anything. It's okay.
I know. It's all good.
Jason, edit please.
But yeah. So basically, what we'll do is we'll from the front end because when you're rendering PHP, you don't always know what the browser size is or the device type is, things like that. Right. We're able to detect that on the front end, through JavaScript and Ajax, and then call out for the appropriate kind of ad and place it. So that's one of the approaches that we've taken. There are other systems out there, network ads, that you literally place in code and it just does that stuff for you, so we don't have to do that. When this was first coming about, one of the issues that we ran into is a lot of ads use document.write in JavaScript, and it will completely white out the page if you've already written the page. So we had to have some creative workarounds to get through that, but things have come along and progressed a bit, so that it's not as big of an issue anymore.
Fair enough.
Nice.
I just feel like a 150 by 150 ad should get it done, and you shouldn't have to worry about resizing and all this kind of stuff. But now that you painted that picture, I kind of want to dive more into responsive ads now. It's
not something you can just kind of like scratch the surface of, right? Like you could spend a lot of time. Yeah, no, I think you wrote it though.
Oh.
You wrote the book, just not yet. No, it is like because there are so many different ad networks, we support pretty much anything that gives you ad code, but a lot of them are doing like HTML5 ads these days instead of Flash. They're taking work away from Steve, but that's something that's coming up that hasn't been an issue before, and so having to support something like that is a new, keeping up with ads is really tricky because there are so many networks that are doing so many different things.
That's also the name of Ryan Seacrest's next show, is Keeping Up with the Ads.
It's pretty much what the name of his show is now, actually. Question about that responsive thing. So do the images actually scale responsively, or are they just switching from mobile to desktop?
So they do both. Out of the box, AdSanity ships with the ability to have ad units scale if they're image based. They'll scale so they're containers. But because you can create your own ad sizes, it may require some additional CSS on your end to do that. We will provide it for you, given most cases, but it's pretty simple CSS to add to your style sheet. The more custom implementations for different clients that we do, we actually use AdSanity a lot for our clients, and we have had to do different things with specific browsers or serve different ads for different even geolocations, things like that.
Wow.
So it's very capable of being extended to do those kind of things, but like I said, out of the box, most people, all they want is to display an ad in their sidebar from Google AdSense. So it does that really, really fast. We take advantage of some WordPress caching and stuff like that to make it so that it's a lot faster, transients and things like that. So functionally, it's very simple. And to kind of go back to Jason's first point, it puts the sanity back in ad management because there's not a bunch of knobs to tweak and things like that.
You were mentioning queries, and until you painted that picture, Brendan, I didn't understand what you meant by the queries were taking so long. But now that you're saying like you got to figure GeoIP, and then based off the browser size, and then based off of like if it's this or if it's that. Now that you painted that picture, what an important tool it is to have in ad management. Like that's insane, man. Like did you guys do a lot of testing?
It's not insane.
It's
sanity.
Opposite of that.
Was there a lot of testing to figure that out, though, or like, oh, hey, we need to build GeoIP in, or did you guys figure you needed that on the first instance of this?
No, actually, it wasn't something that we built in at the beginning. I mean, like I said, we made it very simple right off the bat. Those are a lot of those are the custom implementations that we do with it, just because the clients are asking for very specific things, and I think our approach is just let's not have our software get in the way of what we're already trying to do, but just kind of give us a stepping stone to get to the final result. If you're trying to do something very custom, a lot of people don't want that, and I think the plugins that people were using that are really popular and really free, they do everything, and
Really?
they're really free.
Like,
Free like beer.
really,
They're free as in you have to support yourself, kind of free. And so for us, obviously we want to be able to support the people who aren't in this inner circle of WordPress, who are just somebody who's trying to put up a blog, and they just need ads and they don't know how to do it. So we've tried to build it with WordPress in mind, so that if they know WordPress, they already know how to use AdSanity.
Question about the custom implementation. Is that all based on developers doing it and code, or do you have like modules and add-ons?
We do have some. I talked about the changing ad size or custom ad sizes. That is a module that you can just drop in. It's an add-on plugin that you can add. But some of the custom stuff that we've done has been through really serious development efforts, right, on our end, and having to deal with very specific kinds of networks that where if you're using like DoubleClick for something, for example, they have APIs that you can tie into, based on the kinds of content that you have, based on the kinds of device that you're looking at, and a region that you're in, you're going to get a specific ad, and sometimes that kind of implementation has to be done in WordPress rather than having to do, or in code rather than having to be in an admin or something like that.
So just to be clear, Brennan, you're not bringing ads to me. I still have to go sign up for a service to receive ads. You're just making it more accessible to put ads on my website, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that we've thought about for a long time, is trying to do something like a ClickBank type thing for to provide people, or a buy-sell ads, I guess, is another good example of like kind of like a network of people who are publishers, and a network of people who are actually advertisers, to kind of bring them together with different kinds of content. But
so let me ask, for the people that are in our audience that might want to, are just getting into this, what ad network should I start with?
Google.
Bing.
I mean, we get everything. So like if you have people who are very specific, like vendors for what you're talking about, let's say you have a blog that talks about skateboards or whatever, you're not going to want to go to Google.
My cat blog.
I'm sure somebody else in your family might. But like those are like local skate shops or something like that could be a good person to reach out to and say, hey, we can make this ad for you, or you can make an ad and we can put it on our website and we can promote you in return for like a free skateboard now and then, or whatever. Those are good ways, and
Brandon's motivations are something very clear.
I'm making notes. Hang on one second.
Yeah.
I need a free skateboard.
Free skateboard, yeah.
You need to start with, I need the blog, and then the ads after that.
Right.
Oh wait, I have to blog.
Hey, Brandon, one question that comes up to mind is, do you guys override ad blocker, or what if somebody has ad blocker? What happens with that?
It's a really tricky thing because ad blockers do constantly change. By default, our template files do have things like, CSS classes like add-250 by 300 or whatever in the code. And a lot of times that's what ad blocks are looking for. So, we do it because we want to be able to maintain a basic set of code that our CSS will apply to for defaults. But we allow you to take those theme files into your actual theme and customize the markup. So let's say you do have like a crazy floating ad you want to do. You could do that and change the markup to support that. And AdSanity wouldn't have to care about kind of what your markup is.
Fair enough.
Hey, I have a question. So what is the pricing for this product, and what kind of support does it include?
So the pricing, we start at, I believe, $29 is a single site license. Basically, what that does is, once you have the code, you can do whatever you want with it. But we will basically support a single domain. It's not blocked or anything like that. So, like, you install it, it will run completely fine. You just, in order to get updates and support, you have to authenticate it. And then we have a three site license for $69, I think, and then $129 is our unlimited developer license. So that's kind of where we're at.
So far, this has been a 20-minute infomercial for AdSanity.
I know, I'm liking it. Keep it going.
We all really like Brandon.
Oh, we do, and it's awesome.
Guys, we're probably going to be cash positive, just so you guys know.
It's awesome. Brandon's our friend. He's in our community. I think we need to mention if there's any other competing technologies.
Hey, I'll be the first one to say that there are plenty of other plugins out there. We've had several that people have come to us from, and we've recommended several because they're looking for more functionality. For example, weighted ads is not something we do. It's not something we want to do right now. So like AdRotate does weighted ads.
That's what we've used before, AdRotate.
Yeah, and they have a
I use that on a couple of
What are weighted ads?
Ads being ads that are heavier than other ads.
No,
Yeah.
Weighted ads are for those that use ginseng.
What are weighted ads?
So ad weighting is basically, let's say I have a block of 4 ads, and I want one ad to come up more prominently than the rest. You can say, oh, I want this one to show up 3 out of 4 times, but these other ones, rotate them through or something like that.
Okay.
If you really want that skateboard, is basically what you're saying.
If you really want to do that, yeah.
AdRotate supports that.
AdRotate supports that. They have a pro version, I believe. If you look for ad management in the WordPress repo, you'll find tons of stuff there. We're not in the WordPress repo at all, so definitely.
If you don't have a freemium model, you're not operating under the freemium. You're just.
No,
I appreciate that, by the way.
I do too. Freemium irritates.
I think it's tough because if you have a paid product and a free product, how do you support the same people in the same way, or like the people who aren't paying you versus people who are paying you? So
you split your forums like the events calendar, and then you ignore one forum and respond to the other forum. That's
that doesn't happen.
But we're not going to name names.
So one of the things that one of my clients uses a lot of is being able to do ad injection. And has that something that you guys have looked into? Because the one in particular that we use is called WP Advanced Ads that does ad injection. So I can say, like, at the very beginning of the paragraph, I want to have an ad placement, and then on the second paragraph have an ad placement, and then the second to last most paragraph I want to ad placement. And these are mainly for AdSense ads where they want to have them right next to the content so people are clicking on them, because no one clicks on the stuff on the sides. So I'm kind of curious, have you guys looked into that? And because I've seen other ones that do it, but for now at least, the one that we found the most effective is the advanced ads one.
Yeah, and I think that's not something that we support from a UI perspective. So we haven't found a really good UI way. I have to take a look at that one that you're talking about.
You don't support injection?
We do support. We fully support injection.
You're like.
But it's through things like filtering the content that we would support that. And it's more of something that we'd find a developer who would need specific kinds of tools to do that, rather than a user saying, I want to do it at the first, second paragraph or whatever. That's how we approach it.
So I can continue to crack say up here. Can we define ad injection?
According to Wikipedia.
You stick it in.
So ad injection is where you're just telling it the rules that you're going to be using in order to define where the ad placements are going to be. So for instance, with one of the clients that I use, is I told them, whenever you use a paragraph tag, it's going to jump in at that paragraph tag and stick an ad block in there. They can also do it where they have some type of like a token or something that goes in there that just says, like, hey, this is this comment is going to become an ad.
Well,
and so
this says that ad injection is a technique by which ads are
according to Wikipedia.
Inserted. No, ads are inserted into web pages without getting the permission of the site owner and paying them.
Nah, that's the black hat.
That's malware injection.
So don't do that. That's malware injection. Sorry,
you can pay for that.
I'm not Einstein, all right?
Yeah.
Let's see how many times we can say the word injection in the next 5 minutes.
Yes, let's do that. Hey, does AdSanity do user splits? Like, so if you have, different users and they have like tracking codes, and you can like kind of split and see what are, like who's getting what, or is it just the basics?
AdSanity is just the basics. This is the part of the infomercial where I say no, it doesn't do pretty much everything, because it is built for simplicity. So, yeah, so a lot of those advanced features we don't support.
That explains an issue I was having. And the light bulb turns on.
Yeah.
She's like, it all makes sense now.
I'm like, okay, yeah, right, okay, that makes sense. That's why there's not a field for it, then. It's really...
Right.
Any other competing products or other products we should talk about?
I mean, the ones that I've heard of, there's one that's actually they have, I think it's called like WordPressAdvertising.com. It's a sweet domain name.
That's illegal.
Yeah. So that one we heard someone recently switch to.
WordPress advertising.
I want to know, Jason, I think you already said what your favorite was, but I want to know more about your favorite, because I know you run a lot of sites that have ads on them, and this is something that you get into all the time. So I would like to hear kind of your perspective on it. I know you like to try things too, so you've probably tried out a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, we've tried a bunch of them. We've seen a few where this is probably something that Brandon's been looking into a lot of, is that you don't want to have this thing break caching at all. Like you want to make sure that it's just gonna. So the more complicated the rules are, then the more complicated things get, and then you end up with just every single time you have 100,000 people try to go to a site at the same time, or a couple million or whatever. They're all getting a uncached copy of the site, and then you're like, oh great, no wonder why my web server's crashing. So there's a lot of another one that we were looking at. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up and put it in the show notes. Actually generated JavaScript on the fly, and it would make these like cached JavaScript files that would be used to load it up. So they come up with all these different versions and instances and ways in which the rules are set up, and then it would just load up that JavaScript each time it needed it to be injected. Which is, I don't know, it's kind of scary to me, because anytime you're not legitimately putting in that, say, AdSense ad or a Bing ad or something like that, it's scary, because it's like, I don't know if they're going to block me because I'm using JavaScript to make this thing displayed. But now with the responsive stuff, that's all they're using is that in order to be able to display it.
Keep it up at night.
Yeah.
Are they going to block me because of my JavaScript? I don't know.
It's true, though. It's true.
Hey, Brandon, does AdSanity, do you guys do pop-up ads as well?
It will do, like I said, it will do any kind of ad that you want to. Out of the box, it supports the IAB standard ads.
Sure.
So most of those are in-page advertisements rather than pop-ups or interstitials or things like that. Bless you.
I thought I blocked it before I sneezed. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
I tried.
But yeah, it will support anything that essentially you could add to it.
Before we end, because we only have a minute here, I would just like to ask a question. Dre, are you there? Are you frozen? Are you there?
No. So I'm here, and I've just kind of been listening, because we've been using AdRotate, the paid versions, for a while now. And just listening to all the AdSanity and everything, I think that's it sounds like that a couple of the issues that we've been having, especially with some of our caching and everything, AdSanity would solve most of those. So probably going to be a new customer here in the next couple of hours.
I think
Success, guys.
That was worth your 30 minutes on the water cooler.
Now, who do I give the affiliate commission to?
Me, Steve.
All of you.
Me.
It's all Steve.
Well, if he goes with Flash ads, you give it to Steve. If he goes with mobile, you give it to me.
If you need any director work, Steve will be your man. He'll come in and help you out.
That's dirty. You shouldn't say those things. Jason's in a church.
So, happy Columbus Day. Is that something you say? Is that a thing?
No, it's Indigenous Peoples Day.
It's not? I know.
Washington State has made today
Indigenous
Native
Peoples Day.
American Awareness Day.
Columbus Day is getting a bad rap on Facebook.
Yeah.
I love Columbus Day because we always got to draw hand turkeys and stuff. So I love it.
That's next month.
Different holiday.
No, I went to a private school that was special. You know, short buses.
You
and
did.
all.
You did ride the short bus.
And then every day they're like, draw a hand turkey, Russ. And he's like, okay.
Happy Columbus Day.
Stop.
My parents always got mad when I drew them on the walls.
Oh,
All right, folks,
Wow.
that is about
That's
it
so,
for today.
that reveals so much about you, Russ.
It really
Einstein.
does.
Make sure you go over to our website, WPwatercooler.com, click on the links there to subscribe. If you're up late on the East Coast and you want to watch WP Blab, you can go over to WP Blab and check it out there. And lastly, if you want to check out all the stuff that Brandon's doing over there at AdSanity.com. Thank you very much for being on the show, you all, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Don't sell your souls.